Hello everybody, my name is Leo and in this video I would like to talk with you about the main differences in terms of sound and feel between the main amps I use, that are a Marshal Plexi, a Soldano SLO 100, a Mesa Boogie Lone Star and a Fender Deluxe Reverb. We are gonna go through some song examples discussing why I've chosen a specific amp in that specific situation, and then towards the end of the video, I would like to get your opinion about a topic I'm thinking about since a few weeks. Is the song the king and we should adapt our tone to the song, or our tone is our signature and we should use it consistently? Let's start. Let's hear together the first sound sample, and by the way, you can find the link to the full songs in the description below. Let's play! Now, in this song, which is called Goodbye Holidays, we have first of all a very dynamic sound. I mean, there are parts in which the guitar almost cleans up and others where it gets in more overdriven territories. For instance, here it cleans up. And here it breaks up. Now, I have obtained these different tones just pushing harder and softer the strings of the guitar, thanks to the amp I've used. That is maybe the most touch-sensitive amp I know, the Marshal Plexi. This is also due to the amp design. In fact, it is a non-master volume amp. I mean, with master volume amps like the JCM 800, you have a knob dedicated to the gain and another to the volume, where in the Plexi you don't have the gain knob, but just the overall volume. Now, the one thing that I have learned is that the sooner you introduce distortion in your signal chain, the less dynamic sound you have. The later, the more the amp is gonna be responsive to your touch. So for instance, if you use a distortion pedal, you are introducing distortion earlier in the signal chain than raising the gain knob of a master volume amp. And if you get into distortion raising the gain knob of a master volume amp, you are cranking up only the preamp valves and not the power amp valves. If on the other hand you use an amp without master volume, in order to crank it up, you need to raise the overall volume, cranking up both the preamp valves and the power amp valves at the same time. And that's where you get the most dynamic sound, in my experience. I mean, that's why a non-master volume amp that basically get distorted raising the overall volume and therefore cranking up at the same time the preamp and the power amp valves provides us with the most touch-sensitive solution possible, in my opinion and experience. That's why the Plexi was perfect for this song. In my opinion, it was perfect also because this amp was providing me with a very, I would say, bold tone, with a lot of character, able to support a song where the guitar is the leading actor, with parts where it is also alone and other in a full mix, always being very distinguishable in the mix itself. This sound was also, in my opinion, pretty contrasting with the mood of the song. I mean, the song is pretty calm, quiet, and the tone that is very rude, I think, provide with that extra contrast that help to raise the attention of the listener. At least this is my opinion, and I'm really curious to hear from you your opinions, so please let me know in the comment below. Was the Plexi the perfect amp for this song? What amp would you have used in this song? Please let me know. Now let's hear another example with another song called Daily. Let's play. This is a completely different song than the first one. We have a richer comping part in terms of instrument, the sound is less dynamic but it is fuller, with a lot of sustain. In the first song I was playing the chords and the melody at the same time, where here you have just that lead guitar playing the main theme and the solo, that needs that extra amount of gain and sustain. And so here the Soldano was just perfect, I think, with that full, very pleasing, in my opinion, distorted sound with tones of sustain that is a pleasure to play and that just fit perfectly with the song. Do you agree with me? Please let me know in the comment below. Third example now, with the song Strange Life. Now, the first two songs were two extremes. I mean, the first one with that guitar making together the harmony and the theme, I would say dominating the song. The second one with a lead guitar just playing the theme and the solo in a more orchestrated song, where the theme was the master, was the king. Now, here we have a more complex arrangement with the comping part done with a specific tone and the lead guitar done with another one. I wanted the comping part to be very tight, aggressive and somehow vintagey sounding, and the lead tone to be more mellow, pretty contrasty with the comping part. That's why I've chosen the Plexi for the comping part and the Lone Star for the solo. I think that they complement pretty well each other and their contrast enriches the song, with the vintage comping part and a more modern tone for the solo that allows also the mix to breathe. I mean, the solo guitar jumps out also thanks to the so much different tone in comparison with the comping part. This Just for sharing that in this song I've chosen the amps not only considering each specific part alone, but also considering the balance of the overall mix. A detail to take into consideration as this song is more crowded, and so the mix balance is an important factor to take into consideration. What's your opinion? Do you like these tones? Do you think that they complement each other well? Let me know. Let's now hear the fourth example with a song that really means a lot to me, that is called Lone Star. Let's play. Well, I wrote this song in March 2020 with this sense of loneliness derived from the lockdown and the happiness for having been able finally to get my Mesa Boogie Lone Star, an amp I really wanted so badly for so long. Now, this is an example of song I wrote inspired by the tone and by the moment. I mean, I received the Lone Star, I plugged my third classic antique, and boom, the song was there. The Lone Star is an amazing amp. You can get pretty high gain tones, but your articulation and your touch never get lost in the distortion. And this song, I think, is a clear example with a rich and full distorted tone where you can hear all the nuances of the pick, where the articulation and the envelope of each note is clearly distinguishable. For me, it is a perfect marriage between the song and the amp, even because the amp actually inspired the song. So, what do you think? Is the amp at the service of the song? Does it fit well with the song? Fifth example now. Well, here we have a classic marriage. ES-175 with Fender Deluxe Reverb, the heaven for jazz players. In this case, the choice was obvious. I mean, the Deluxe Reverb has such a great clean tone, it is perfect for the ES-175, highlighting its woody tone, its roundness and clarity, even if you lower the tone knob of the ES-175. Actually, this amp is my first choice every time I need a jazz tone, and it forms a formidable couple with the ES-175, in my opinion. What about you? Am I right? What's your opinion? So, I hope I've been able to transfer to you the mental process I do when I compose a song and I search for the perfect amp that can enrich that song, and the main tonal characteristics of each of these amps that maybe could be useful if you are trying to buy one of them. Of course, the most of the time it is an instinctive process derived by the hours spent with each amp. But I also think that nowadays, with the amp modeling pedalboards with such a great amount of amps at our disposal, it is worth spending time understanding the tonal characteristics of each amp and the reason why we may choose one over the other according to the context and the song. And here I would also like to share with you a doubt I have. We are used to listen to CDs where the guitar tone is very consistent song after song, and there are guitarists that are very distinguishable for their tone. For instance, Eric Johnson has an amazing tone, very consistent CD after CD. Another example is Nuno Bettencourt with a tone that is pretty different, for instance from Pornography to Three Sides to Every Story, but is very consistent within a single album. So the question is, if you had to play, let's say, 8 songs in a specific CD, would you prefer to change tone and amp song after song to be able to adapt your tone to the song, or would you prefer to have a consistent tone, not changing amp song after song? I mean, the song is the king, or the consistency of the guitar sound is preferable? In the past I was all in for consistency, but today I'm honestly more inclined to consider the melody as the king, and the guitarist should do the best he can to fit that song, even changing the tone if it is necessary. What do you think? I'm really interested here to hear your opinion. Please let me know in the comment below. We have now reached the end of this video. I leave in the description the link to the songs we have played along the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell and leave a thumbs up. It would be of a great help. If you're interested in my IRs, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine. Thank you for watching, see you in the next video. Bye.